9 habits of people who live past 90, longevity secrets you've never heard. What if living to 90 wasn't about winning the genetic lottery, but about doing a few simple things consistently? In places around the world, from the serene hills of Okinawa, Japan to the sun-soaked villages of Sardinia, Italy, people are not just living longer. They're thriving. They're active. They're sharp. They're fulfilled. And the best part? Many of their secrets are surprisingly simple, science-backed, and completely achievable. In this video, we're diving into 9 habits of people who live well into their 90s and beyond. Some of these may surprise you. All of them could change the way you age. Let's get started. Habit number 1. They move, but not in the gym. Here's what most people get wrong about exercise. It doesn't have to be intense to be effective. The oldest and healthiest people in the world don't pump iron or run marathons. They move naturally, constantly, throughout the day. They walk to the market. They garden. They sweep. They cook. They get up often and stay on their feet. Science backs this up. Daily light movement reduces inflammation, strengthens the heart, lowers blood sugar, and improves brain function. So instead of worrying about the gym, think about how you can build movement into your daily rhythm. Walk more. Take the stairs. Work with your hands. Stand when you can. Longevity lives in the little things. Habit number 2. They eat until they're 80% full. Yes, portion control is powerful, but this one goes deeper. In Okinawa, elders practice something called hara hachibu, a cultural habit of stopping when they're about 80% full. Why? Because digestion takes energy. Overeating taxes the body. Consistently eating slightly less supports better metabolism, weight management, and lower rates of chronic disease. If you finish every meal feeling just a little lighter, you're actually helping your body live longer. Habit number 3. They eat mostly plants. Centenarians across the globe don't follow trendy diets. But what they do have in common is this. They eat mostly plants. Beans, greens, nuts, sweet potatoes, fruits, whole grains, real, unprocessed food. Meat, if consumed, is eaten in small amounts, more like a flavoring than a main course. Studies have shown that plant-based diets reduce inflammation, lower blood pressure, and improve gut health. All things that support longevity. So if you're filling your plate, think color, fiber, and variety. Your future self will thank you. Habit number 4. They prioritize sleep. Without guilt. Getting older doesn't mean sleeping less. It means sleeping better and treating sleep like the medicine it is. People who live past 90 tend to have consistent sleep routines. They go to bed and wake up at the same times. They get natural light during the day. They avoid screens at night. They rest without guilt. Quality sleep helps regulate hormones, repair cells, and improve memory. Missing sleep ages you, literally, on a cellular level. So take back your bedtime. Make it sacred. Make it restful. And don't apologize for it. We hope you are enjoying this video about 9 habits of people who live past 90. Elderly Inspired offers many more informative and enjoyable videos that you can watch at your leisure. Please take a moment to hit the like button and to the subscribe button to be notified of any new videos. And we would love to hear from you. Your comments are important and all comments are answered. Your opinions and experiences can be valuable to other listeners, so go ahead and enter your comments. Now back to the show. Habit number 5. They belong to something bigger. Whether it's a faith community, a meditation group, or simply a regular gathering with friends, a sense of belonging is essential. In Sardinia, Italy, older adults are deeply integrated into their families and communities. In Loma Linda, California, long-lived Adventists benefit from strong faith-based support systems. Feeling part of something bigger, be it spiritual or social, helps reduce stress, boost resilience, and create a sense of purpose. Loneliness is one of the greatest predictors of early death. Connection, on the other hand, is life-giving. Habit number 6. They keep a sense of purpose. The Japanese call it ikigai. Costa Ricans call it plan de vida. The idea is the same. Having a reason to wake up in the morning. Purpose fuels motivation, regulates stress, and improves both mental and physical health. For some, it's volunteering. For others, it's mentoring, gardening, or creating art. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to be meaningful to you. Ask yourself, what makes me feel alive? And then do more of it. Habit number 7. They stay socially engaged. In every Blue Zone studied, places where people live measurably longer, strong social networks are key. In Okinawa, elders belong to moai groups, tight-knit circles of lifelong friends who support each other emotionally and financially. In Nicoya, Costa Rica, older adults remain connected to multi-generational households. They laugh, they talk, they check in on each other. Social engagement lowers cortisol levels, boosts immunity, and protects cognitive health. So reach out, call an old friend, join a walking group, host a weekly dinner. A good conversation could literally extend your life. Habit number 8. They avoid stress or reset it quickly. You can't eliminate stress, but you can reduce how long it lives in your body. The longest living people don't have easier lives, but they have rituals that help them unwind. They pray, they nap, they take quiet walks. They pause to reflect or laugh with friends. In short, they release tension instead of carrying it. Chronic stress is linked to nearly every major illness, heart disease, stroke, diabetes, even cancer. But learning how to hit the reset button daily? That's a superpower. Habit number 9. They keep elders active and respected. In many cultures, aging is not something to be feared. It's something to be honored. In places like Ikaria, Greece, and Nicoya, Costa Rica, older adults are seen as sources of wisdom, not burdens. They're included in decisions. They're invited to participate. They're valued. This creates a powerful feedback loop. When you feel valued, you're more likely to stay active, positive, and engaged. And when you stay engaged, you live longer. We need more of this everywhere. Aging isn't a decline, it's a deeper chapter. So let's recap. People who live to 90 and beyond move often, eat thoughtfully, sleep deeply, connect meaningfully, and live purposefully. Not all of these habits are glamorous, but that's the beauty of them. They're real, they're attainable, and they're built into daily life. You don't have to change everything. Start with one small shift, one habit, one decision to live just a little better today than you did yesterday. Because the future isn't written yet, and it's never too late to build a life you're proud of. One that's not just longer, but richer, fuller, and more inspired. Here's to your next chapter, however long and beautiful it may be. Before we get to a few real-life examples from other seniors, please take a moment to hit the subscribe button and give us a comment on your thoughts for the subject 9 habits of people who live past 90. Let's make this even more real. These 9 habits aren't just ideas on paper. They're lived every day by people around the world who've reached their 90s and beyond. Let me introduce you to a few of them. Mitch, 92, lives in a small town in Minnesota. Every morning, Mitch takes a 20-minute walk around his neighborhood. Rain, shine, or snow, it doesn't matter. He says, "It's how I say good morning to the trees and to my knees." He doesn't walk fast. He doesn't use a fitness tracker, but he does it consistently. And that simple act has helped him maintain strong joints, a sharp mind, and a cheerful spirit. His secret? Keep moving and keep waving at your neighbors. Both go a long way. Then there's Sophia, 97, who lives in the hills of southern Italy. She still cooks every meal from scratch using vegetables from her own garden. She doesn't follow a diet plan, but her food is rich in olive oil, herbs, beans, tomatoes, and wild greens. When asked why she still bothers to cook at her age, she says, "When I stop feeding myself well, I stop telling my body it matters." George, 94, is a retired pastor in Georgia. He begins each day the same way, sitting quietly on his front porch with a hot cup of tea and a short prayer. He calls it centering before serving. Even now, George volunteers 3 days a week at a local shelter. He says, "You've got to give your days a reason to happen." His sense of purpose? It hasn't retired. And in Okinawa, Emiko, age 100, still participates in her moai, her lifelong circle of friends. They gather weekly to talk, share food, and check on one another. They've been doing it for over 60 years. Studies show this kind of social bonding is one of the strongest predictors of longevity, reducing stress, depression, and even heart disease. Then there's Luis, 90, a widower in Costa Rica. He lost his wife 5 years ago, but says her memory is with him every day, especially in his garden. He tends it each morning, just as they once did together. It's not about the tomatoes, he smiles. It's about remembering to love life, even when it changes. Janet, 91, lives in Northern California. She swears by her 2 p.m. naps every day. Not long, just 20 minutes. "I don't sleep to escape," she says. "I nap so I can enjoy the evening." She also journals every night before bed. She writes down one thing that made her laugh and one thing she's grateful for. Little things, she says. They carry you longer than you think. Tomas, 96, in Spain, credits his longevity to never retiring from curiosity. He reads every day, philosophy, poetry, even history. His family gave him a Kindle last year, and now he's breezing through 3 books a week. He jokes, "My body's slowing down, but my mind's running marathons." Dolores, 93, a former nurse in Arizona, still meets her 3 best friends every Sunday afternoon. They've had coffee together for over 40 years. They talk about everything and nothing. When we laugh, she says, it feels like time stands still. And when you stop laughing, that's when you get old. And finally, Moses, 95, from Kenya, rises before dawn each day to tend his animals. He's slowed down, of course, but he believes waking up with the sun keeps his body aligned with nature's rhythm. And that rhythm, he says, is older and wiser than any clock. These aren't extraordinary people. They're ordinary people who build extraordinary lives by doing simple things with love, intention, and joy. They remind us that longevity doesn't come from perfection. It comes from purpose, from connection, from the little rituals we commit to, and the people we commit to doing them with. So as you reflect on your own daily habits, ask yourself, what brings me peace? What gets me moving? What makes me feel useful? Who makes me feel seen? And then, do more of that. Live like Mitch, like Sophia, like Emiko and Luis, because they're showing us the path, not just to living longer, but to living better. And that's the kind of life worth building at any age.